at Elk Head Road. So I am going to drive about halfway of this. It's been a day of driving. It's been crazy in Oregon with the rain. The rain has been insane. Crazy map routing problems. And then I'm going to skip my other 2 routed roads, Gallus Road, Wolf Creek Gallus Road, and Cow Creek Road, only because the weather's so bad, and I'd rather get better captures of those when the weather is nice. So once I finish this, where I go down here, kind of up to Yoncalla, and then back down again, and then I'll just go straight to Ashland after that. But seen some great roads. Rain's been crazy, and definitely been probably added many hours onto my drive than I probably should have. But other than that, it's been pretty good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the roads tomorrow in California. There's a couple roads I have planned down there. Hopefully those roads turn out well. Hopefully the weather is better than what it is in Oregon. It's clear, sunny, because I wouldn't mind getting some drone shots of Platina Road, which is one of the roads I have planned when I hit Redding in the morning in California. So I will see you on the next road. As I head south on Elk Creek Road, it feels like I kind of know this road now. What you're not seeing is that when I first exited off of I-5, I didn't stop. I just kept going on the road. But then the rain turned off, and I thought to myself, dang it, I have to capture this. So I U-turned back to the staging spot and did about 20 minutes of file transferring. Meanwhile, the weather went from clear to rainy to clearish, and I was a little worried I'd miss my opportunity. If you have seen it, the prologue, the first sort of drive of the series when I was heading north, you might have noticed that I gave this section 2.5 stars, and I called that good. Now I would revise that to 3.0 as good and 2.5 as fair. If I was going to fully reverse my route from the prologue video, I would continue south on Elk Creek, Anlauf Road, and head directly to the outskirts of Yoncalla instead of turning right on Boswell. Boswell is the second bright spot on this route. A 2-lane country road of enjoyable interlocking curves, elevation changes, peppered with some short straights. While there were driveways, they seemed to be far enough apart to really enjoy the road. Always, of course, stay on your toes and slow down for kids or obvious animal areas, and watch for deers. This is the kind of byway I'm looking for. I give Boswell 3 stars, good. After the thrills of Boswell, I turn right onto Eagle Valley Road and head north to Drain. I mean, wow, what a great town name. Eagle Valley is one of two main connectors between Drain and Yoncalla. It's 2 lanes of gentle back and forth curves and some long straights. That, if you're going south, lets you get back on I-5. Heading into the previously dilapidated town of Drain, I take a left onto Lane Avenue / Drain section road before turning left or south on Hayhurst Rd and head to Yoncalla. Hayhurst Rd is another 2-lane road that's a series of curves and elevation changes, and it climbs out of Drain to a slight peak of about 700 plus feet before dropping back down again as you get closer to Yoncalla. There are plenty of driveways to your area, but there's also a few stretches clear of habitation. It's obviously very ag-centric, balanced by lots of lush forests and creeks. I give Hayhurst 2.5 fair. As I enter Yoncalla, it's a mix of older houses and kind of widely spread suburbia. I'm not sure what to call it. Hayhurst Road becomes Applegate Lane and then deposits me back on Eagle Valley Road. I do a quick pull-in at the Yoncalla Food Center in Delhi before heading straight to my Airbnb in Ashland. Total route rating, 3 out of 5, good. The first two roads definitely bumped up the score. Elk Creek and Boswell were a solid combination of curves, churns, elevation changes, with spaces for short sprints. A good back road setting. Hayhurst was fair, but suffered from a perceived lack of variation and lots of driveway sections. Would they all have been better with nicer weather and fewer driveways? Of course. Elk Creek, Boswell are definitely the highlights and definitely repeatable. Thanks for watching.